There's only two things that I love to talk about above any other thing, and that's anything about Apple and anything about Tesla. This video is one of those topics about Tesla. I made a couple videos ago about the Tesla Model 3 is finally here, and that was just a little announcement vid that Elon Musk and their company finally made the first ever production Model 3. You can see that video right here. But let's get into it. This video is going to be about everything you need to know about the Tesla Model 3. When you think the future of cars, you no longer think flying cars. That is no longer going to exist. The future of cars is that's going to be electric to help with the environment, and second, the cars are going to have to drive themselves. That's the future right there. That's the future of cars. It's gonna be electric and they're gonna drive themselves. So you could just input the location and let the car drive by itself. And you could watch a movie, take a nice nap, have a conversation with the people in the car. You don't have to do the driving. The car's gonna do it for you. That's the future of driving. And that way of driving is much safer. Autonomous driving is the future. That's gonna drastically reduce accidents. Us humans, we're distracted on other things. Our phones, oh, what's the next post? What's the text coming in? We're focused on our kids in the back seat arguing. We're focused on other things and we're not always 100% focused on the road. And that's when accidents happen. Accidents would reduce significantly. And the Tesla Model 3 has all the features ready for autonomous driving. It has all the sensors and all the software to do that. Tesla is just waiting for the laws to pass so that all their newest model cars, the Model S, Model X, and Model 3 can drive autonomously. The Model 3 is built for the future. That's the one thing I love about Tesla. They build their products for the future. They're electric and they could drive themselves. That's the future. But let's get into some of the Model 3 specs that make it futuristic. First of all, there's two different tiers, I'm gonna say, to the Model 3. The first one is the standard tier and the second is the longer range tier. The standard tier is $35,000. It's at that affordable base starting price, trying to make it a more mass market car. The standard version has 220 miles in range, pretty good. It could get you from Miami to Orlando without charging. It could go 0 to 60 in 5.6 seconds. Tesla does not make slow cars. And the standard Model 3 has a top speed of 130 miles per hour. It's that new Tesla standard for electric cars. Electric cars can go faster than gas cars. It's just most people don't think that. But Tesla is changing the game. So the long range version for the Tesla Model 3 is $44,000. This version can go 310 miles in range. I saw this chart where they showed a chart of all electric cars and they showed the cost per mile in range. And the Tesla Model 3 and the Tesla Model 3, I would say Plus, is right on the top of the list. So that means the Tesla Model 3 Plus long range is the best electric car you can buy for your money. This is a great idea for Tesla to do. It allows people to see the true future of electric cars. They're only getting better from here and cheaper. The long range version could go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 5.1 seconds. Pretty fast again. And the top speed of the longer range car is 140 miles per hour. Pretty excellent, I might have to say. Tesla is clearly trying to separate the Model 3 from the Model S. They said in the keynote, I'm gonna have to call it, it's not really a keynote, but they said in the keynote that the Model S is clearly a better car. And it should clearly be a better car if it's double the price, that's $70,000. The Model S is clearly a better car, but that doesn't make the Model 3 that bad. It still has 80% of that Tesla experience that we all know and love. If we go inside of the Tesla Model 3, the Model 3 has space for 5 adults. So 5 different seats, you know, the classic 2 front seats and the 3 back seats. That's what the Tesla Model 3 has. But one feature I really do like, right next to the steering wheel is a 15-inch display. It's none of those buttons with like a 5-inch display. You just put that together. That sounds like Apple with the iPhone 3.
We solved this problem. So how are we going to take this to a mobile device? Well, what we're going to do is get rid of all these buttons and just make a giant screen. A giant screen.
Just take away all the buttons and make it all a screen. The Tesla Model 3 isn't really playing around with those 5-inch screens and all those buttons. They're just combining it to one and making that a huge 15-inch display. It's one of those features that only Tesla really does, but they do it right. On that 15-inch display, you have all the controls for the autopilot. You have it for the maps, directions. You could switch your music up there. Instead of having it on that 5-inch display, they expand that to 15 inches so you can see it clearly and fit more things into the display. And I want to add one more thing. Tesla is going to triple their supercharger stations. So right now, they have a good amount of chargers in the US, all around the US. So you can drive with your Model S and Model X from Miami to Seattle for free. But a little side note, you're gonna have to pay to use those charging stations with the Model 3. It's gonna be a very small amount, but you're still gonna have to pay. But Elon Musk said they're gonna triple the amount of chargers that are all around the world. So you don't ever have to really worry about, is there gonna be a supercharger? You don't have to worry about that because Tesla's gonna triple their superchargers by the end of this 2017. And a little funny thing that Elon Musk said is that the future is now. And Tesla is really making the future now. Autonomous driving, electric cars. Tesla is setting the standard. They're setting the standard of what electric cars should do. I love your thoughts on the Tesla Model 3 in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. I forgot to say this, but if you order a Tesla Model 3 right now, it's gonna come at the end of 2018. Tesla has to deliver on over 400,000 reservations. So you're gonna have to wait a little bit for the Tesla Model 3. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.